Hello family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, hello. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Chilizi Faith Mauna and welcome to my channel, Faith, Love and Purpose. Please subscribe, like, comment and share this video. So today we're going to be talking about all things varsity, all things university. 5 years post matric, so I've been out of high school for 5 years, and I decided to do a video about things I wish I knew before I went to varsity. And as some of you all know, in my previous video I went to AFDA and I went to the Port Elizabeth branch, so to say. I had various reasons why I wanted to study in Port Elizabeth, and my top three were either Port Elizabeth, Cape Town, or Durban, because I wanted to be far from home. I wanted to fly to my varsity, and I just wanted to be close to the beach and the sea, something for a change, because I spent my last 3 years of high school attending a boarding school, which to some point it got boring and I wanted something new and exciting. But obviously, as a teenager, there's a lot of things that you don't know that are going to happen in university. You're just excited for this new opportunity and you just want to go to varsity, be far away from your parents, have fun, and study whatever that you have always desired or you're passionate about. But also, there's a lot of things that we don't know that are waiting for us at varsity. And some of the things we can avoid by preparing beforehand, and some of the things you just have to adult and grow up. I was fairly young when I did my first year. I was only 17 years old, yes. So I did my first year when I was 17 years old. And the first thing, I'm going to be constantly looking at my diary because I have notes. The first thing that I wrote down is that research your desired course. When I went to AFDA, I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be on your screens. And unfortunately, I don't think that was God's purpose for my life at that moment. But well, I'm on your screens now, so stars align. So I went there to study live performance, and within 3 weeks into that course, I had a mental breakdown. I couldn't do it anymore. There were courses that I couldn't do, obviously, that were challenging for me. I used to enjoy some other things, and there was this specific one that was challenging. I remember I just left the class. I was in tears. I went to the office and I told them, you know what, I can't do this course. It's challenging and I don't think I'm going to survive 3 years doing this. So I had to call my mom also and explain that I think I made the wrong choice. And I think as a parent, she was bound to be supportive, but also thinking that my child is far away. I paid so much money for her to go to AFDA and now this. And then I ended up changing courses and I did producing. So I think it's important to research your desired career. For example, you can't say, I want to be a doctor. You don't know what happens within that 6 years. You don't know the courses that they do. You don't know how difficult they are. So with me, I was just like, I want to be on screen. I want to be an actor. I want to be an actress. I want to be on films. I want to be on billboards. But I didn't actually know what happens for those people to get there. And that's why I'm saying I think it's very much important to research your desired career and know exactly what you're getting into, know what you have to do, both practical theory, if it involves theory, if it involves practical. So yes, research your desired career. So point number 2, it also involves research. For me, it's important to know the type of environment where you're going to be attending. So this is what happens in some cases. You go to a private institution, that means that you have to stay off campus because they do not have an accommodation, on-site accommodation. Sometimes you go to public universities, that means that you can apply to stay in your res, or you can also stay outside where there are private accommodations accredited by the university or accredited by your bursary if you're using a bursary. So in my case, my school was a private institution. That means I had to go look for accommodation outside. But luckily for me, they already had compiled a list of places that they accredit or places that they think their students can stay that are safe. So with me, I took a trip to Port Elizabeth when I was in matric in December after my final exams with my sister, just to check the place and also to check the accommodation that they had recommended. And I ended up going to stay at Campus Key, and I think they do have buildings around South Africa. I think in Pretoria, Bloemfontein, Cape Town. But also, it also depends on your budget or if the bursaries are gonna pay for you or you are self-funding. So with private institutions, obviously you have to self-fund. By the time I went to AFDA, I didn't even know anything about bursaries. I just knew that, okay, I have to self-fund myself since I'm going to a private institution. So it's important to know the type of accommodations that are around that place. If maybe you have friends or family that have been to that university before, ask them about the cost of living, your transport. Like if you're staying outside, you have to include your transport. You have to know the safety of the place, and also if you're an introvert or an extrovert, because I only stayed at Campus Key for 6 months because I couldn't deal with the noise, and I had to study on weekends. I had to do my assignments, and the noise was just getting to me. So I had to move and look for a place where I could stay alone. So yes, it's important to know transport costs, the safety of the area is very much important. I think I'll do a whole separate video just speaking about accommodations that are accredited in South Africa, because I know there's specific accommodations that are there in almost all the provinces that you guys can go and apply and stay at. And also to be safe, I can't emphasize this, your safety as a girl child, as a boy child, you being far away from home, your parents are not there to attend to you if there's an emergency or anything at that specific point. So that's my second point. Research about the area, research about the environment, the cost of living of that specific place. Because if I'm from Limpopo and I buy bread nga 10 rand or 10 rand maybe, it won't be the same as in Port Elizabeth. So it's important to research. Point number 3, know what works for you. What works for friend A won't work for you. What works for friend B won't work for you. So for example, if friend A they study throughout the night and you can't, it means that their method won't work for you. So always know what works for you. Stay true to your identity all the time. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be at your own pace. It's okay to find your feet. Obviously in first year you're still testing. It's a testing phase. Will this work for me? Will option B work for me? Will option C work for me? But always know that what works for somebody else will not work for you. That's why I always say that stay true to your identity. My identity won't be the same as somebody else's identity. I don't know how that person was raised. I don't know what that person believes in. I don't know what they were taught when they left the house. I don't know if they were taught how to pray or they just living their daily life being carefree. It's not wrong. You don't have to judge, but always know what works for you. Number 4, the art of financial management, which I think it's the biggest point out of all the points I've written down. So you are now transitioning from having pocket money for every day or every week, I don't know, whatever was working for your household, to being by yourself, to buying your own groceries, buying your own toiletries, having to pay for transport if you're using transport, having to buy clothes, having to buy study materials, etc. So, if I knew how the finances of varsity look like, I was going to save money even before I went to varsity. I wish I had saved money way before, maybe a year before I went to university. I was going to start saving my own money apart where I could just use it in case of emergency. And the thing is, parents are different, obviously. They will give you money and they will expect you to manage it for the whole month. If by mid-month you're already done and you have no money left, it's so difficult to go back to them and say, you know what, please, I need money for this and this and that. So educate yourself about finances. Hence, in my previous point, I mentioned that know the cost of living of that particular area. It's important to save. If possible, during your school holidays, look for a job or something where you can make like quick money, like quick cash. Save that money, and you know that as a lady, I do have money for my toiletries, I do have money for my hair. So whatever money that they're going to give me from back at home, I'm just going to use it for groceries and for all those big things that needs a lot of money. But for small things like my hair, my toiletries, going out for lunch, which is not necessary even, I advise that cook. Like if you don't know how to cook, start taking lessons on cooking and cook. Like buy your groceries and cook. You're going to save yourself a lot of money. So yes, my point number 4 is that learn the art of financial management. It's important for you to learn how to use your money, how to budget. Draw up a budget. Go on Google like different budget templates for university students. You'll find that on the internet. Fill those in and estimate how much you're going to use per month. And also from that money you also need to still save, because during school holidays you're going to go home, you'd want to spoil yourself, you'd want to see your friends, etc. So yes, learn the art of financial management. And my next point, point number 5, is that failure is not final. I decided to write down this point because generally I didn't really struggle with passing my modules or doing well in my subjects. Earlier on, I spoke about an incident I had about a module where I felt like, you know what, Miguel, pack your bags, go back home, because you clearly got into something that you can do. I remember when I called my mom, I was in an Uber and I told her that, you know what, I took a wrong choice. I think I made a wrong choice. I didn't know this is what happens. Like I was feeling like it's the end for me. But luckily, because I understand that in order for you to get to a point where you are content with yourself and to get to a point where you are able to hear the voice of God and to also answer to your purpose, you have to go through a little bit of challenges and a little bit of awakening in order for you to know that this is the right path. The path that I was in was a wrong path. So obviously, if you're taking like a degree that is 3 or 4 years, not everyone will finish within that 4 or 5 years or 3 years. Some will finish after 6 years, some after 7 years. And I've also had stories of people finishing like a 3-year degree in 9 years. My point here being that it's okay to fail. It's not everything that you're going to know. Like we can't go from business and economics and now we're doing live performance and producing. Those are 2 different things. But it's always important to be content with yourself. Allow yourself to go through the pain of failing so that you'll be able to enjoy your victory at the end of the day. So I'm emphasizing on this. Failure is not final. Failure doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, unless otherwise you're not putting in the effort. And I also believe that God meets you at your point of need. So if you show actions that, you know what, I really want to pass this degree, I'm really going to study, I'm really going to do my assignments, I'm going to ask for help if need be, then God is going to come in and meet you at your point of need. And point number 6, being my last point, is that prioritize your mental health. This is a topic that I think a lot of people avoid, or they shy from talking about it. But it's important to prioritize your mental health. Know when to rest, know when to take a break, and also talk to somebody. Like, be open, look for somebody to talk to. If you're feeling overwhelmed, rest. If you're feeling overwhelmed, ask for help. Talk to someone that has been through the same journey that you are in. I know there are challenging degrees that a lot of people fall into depression because of these studies. They develop anxiety. So in the film industry, I know that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of research. There's a lot of research going into making that film. There's a lot of work involved. You have to work with a team. You need to adjust and learn how to work within a team. When I went to varsity, I was an introvert. I still believe I'm an introvert. So I had to open up, and me being a producer, it means that I'm taking a role of being the leader of the team. So I had to learn how to communicate. I had to learn how to put my foot down and tell my team that this is wrong, this is right. You guys need to be on campus on time. One day you're going to be out there and be professionals. Obviously, because now I'm a team leader, there is no one else who's gonna shepherd me in a way, because I'm a shepherd to my whole team. So I always say that prioritize your mental health. I am an advocate for going to therapy. I believe in therapy because for me that's where I'm able to talk, that's where I'm able to communicate my true real feelings. And I feel it's important that have someone close to that you can talk to. My mom has always been there for me. I've also went to therapy, which helped me in a very amazing way. So if you can go to therapy, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't force yourself to work hard. Rest, it's okay. Breathe, take a breather. I don't know, do something that it's not school related, not anything that's stupid or anything that's gonna put you in danger, but something. Go for a swim, go to the gym, go for a walk, whatever you need that's gonna make you feel more calm, more relaxed. So always remember that before that career there is you. Before everything else there's you, there's your mental health. Take care of yourself. And a few pointers that I have is just tips. One tip I wrote is that when you go to varsity, I know you're excited to start this new journey, but do not carry a lot of stuff, because you're eventually going to buy so many things. And maybe if you, like me, you're planning to go to Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg, and you're from Limpopo, now when you go home you must carry all those things. They make you pay for storage. So just carry your essential stuff that you're gonna need. Know the weather, like how the weather is. Pack just enough clothes. There's no need to carry the whole house. There's no need to carry your whole bedroom. You are gonna buy stuff. And to all the students that are in grade 12s, those that took gap years and you're gonna do your first year next year, all the best, good luck. And always remember, walk with God, trust in God. Pray for yourself, pray for your heart, pray for your mental health, and good luck. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And also, please don't forget to like, to comment, to share. Tell me what you think about this video. Until next time, I love you. Mwah.